Welcome back to the show. CEO Magazine holding its CEO of the Year event tonight. Managing Director and Founder Chris Dutton joining us. Now, Chris, warm welcome into the show. What marks a good CEO from all of the finalists that have made it onto the list this year? What have you noticed that might have changed inside the last 12 months on that score?
Probably the thing that's probably changed since last year's awards is we found that a lot of CEOs are really turning their attention to people and leadership in the company. We've had lots of finalists, obviously, but the judging process, we've got 6 judges. So what we do is we don't just make the decision ourselves. We farm out the applications to the judges after they've been processed internally here. They mark them, they grade them, they send them back, and we just basically have a meeting of minds, and we decide who's won, really. Yeah,
that's the tricky part. It sounds really seamless, but getting a meeting of the minds in the final wash can be challenging. And if you kind of resist, it's almost resist at your peril. How do you win over those that are doubting the top performer?
Well, this year we haven't had to. This year the decision was fairly unanimous, so touch wood, we've picked the right person.
You can't make any kind of, you can't give us a kind of an early lead on who this is?
What I can do is tell you that all of the finalists are, they're available online at executiveawards.com.au, so you can see, anybody listening or watching can obviously see who the finalists are. But in terms of, top 3, top 2, winner or anything, my lips are sealed, sorry.
What would you say in terms of the sectors that have shone this year is a real standout story, if we can go in that approach?
What I can tell you in terms of the categories this year, we've got 20 awards this year, which is 4 more than last year. The new ones are Chairperson of the Year. Gina Reinhardt is actually a finalist for that. We've got CFO of the Year, Managing Director of the Year, and EA of the Year. So in terms of the categories, the strong points for us, there's obviously a lot of interest in CEO of the Year. Managing Director of the Year, there's been certainly a good response for that. But the interesting one is EA of the Year. That's been really popular. I think a lot of CEOs and MDs these days are realising the importance of their assistants. So that's been quite good.
Yeah, they used to be just called PA. Now they're called EA, or is that perhaps unwarranted?
No, I think I much prefer executive assistant because
Okay, just back on Ms. Reinhardt, you did touch on her. What got her onto the list?
There was an application. Chairperson of the Year. She applied.
She applied directly?
I don't know who applied. All I know is my team told me that there is an application. Gina Reinhardt is there. I don't know if she's going to be a tonight or not. We haven't got that confirmed yet, but she's definitely a finalist.
What marked that application out, could you say?
I didn't judge the application myself. That was the decision for who won Chairperson of the Year. That was between the judges, the 5 judges plus myself. So they made their decision, and then it comes back to me just to kind of rubber stamp it. But yeah, she's certainly a finalist. Young
Executive of the Year. What is the parameter for that one? Because that could be awfully wide-ranging.
Yeah, no, there's obviously an age limit. So obviously to be Young Executive of the Year, you have to be under a certain age. But then the judging criteria for that, once they qualify under that age, is fairly similar to the other awards. They need to show leadership, they need to deliver, returns for shareholders, they need to have a clear course for their company. Yeah, Young Executive of the Year is judged pretty much the same. It's just obviously with the age limit.
Now, we are talking about CEOs, but I notice you've got a CFO of the Year. This starts to muddy waters a little bit.
Say that again, sorry?
The CFO of the Year, how does that end up on the list?
It was a new category. So what we did last year is we went out to everybody that applied for the awards last year, and we said, how did you think it went? What else would you like to see? And CFO was the feedback we got was pretty much, that people wanted that as an award. So, we obviously listen, and we've added it.
What is the kind of typical next step for people who get these awards? What's the leverage that one gets from them?
There's obviously a lot of press coverage. I mean, you guys have got interviews there tonight with CEO of the Year. I think they're doing a follow-up interview with yourself as well. They get a lot of leverage through hard press, obviously, like the Daily Telegraph run stories. Sydney Morning Herald, I think, will run a story. So it's obviously very good for themselves. It's obviously very good for the company. We like to think that a company, ASX-listed company that they have a CEO over the year, we like to think that goes down pretty favourably with shareholders. So, yeah, they tend to go pretty well out of it.
When you look back on these awards, has anyone made it into the final categories twice in a row and won?
When you say they've been made into the final category twice in a row,
Yeah,
are you talking about last year?
Exactly, back to back.
Yeah,
Winners,
absolutely.
winners.
We've got people that won last year that have applied again this year, and some of those people are finalists again this year. Obviously, whether they win or not, we can't tell you yet, but certainly people have come back from last year and reapplied, yeah.
Thanks for your insights. Been intrigued to get to grips with the winners as they're announced tonight. Best of luck with the event.
Thank you.
Okay.
We have a quick break to take. We're 3 minutes 26 seconds away from the CapEx number.